This is something I want to know. Why do people assume that everyone cherishes life? Like, why do people assume that human life has inherent value? I know that may sound like an extreme question. Like, oh, what is he talking about? Ooh, nihilism. Ooh, depression. But it's a question nonetheless. Why do people assume that everyone cherishes life and thinks that life has inherent value and is something that should be actively upheld? Because whether or not your beliefs on it, nihilism is evidently true. It's whether or not how you take that, right? But the question I'm asking, why do people think that life has an inherent value? I can postulate why people would think that, because organisms that didn't think that tended to die off. But I think it's just like the assumption that people want to live, quite simply. I know that sounds, quite blunt, crude, frank, on the nose, whatever you want to call it. Is it better to have never been? Like, if you can go back in time and see the duration of everything in your life, your entire life, then they ask you, do you want to opt in? Would you opt in? If you can teleport, go back in time before you were born, and you get to see the entire duration of your life, would you still opt in? Because here's the thing, no one asked to be here. No one asked to be here. No one asked to be born. You were forced in. Like, the only reason everyone is here is because somebody got cream pied. Like, that's it. It's literally that simple. It's not some grand, noble purpose. That doesn't exist. There is no inherent meaning, value, or purpose in existence. But then people try to make up meanings. You're meant to do this. You're meant to do that. You're supposed to do this. You ought to do that. Ain't no ought. Ain't no supposed to. You're just born for no fucking reason. What you choose to do with that, that's your own personal choice. Oh wait, it isn't. Because you don't have free will either. It's another hunk of bullshit. Free will. It's not a thing. It doesn't exist. Anyone saying anything else simply doesn't understand science. It's like, I'm not here saying things that I want to be true. I'm saying what the evidence supports. Just particles of matter governed by the physical laws of nature. Now, those particles of matter can form any hunk of whatever, a frog, a rock, a rocket, a human, primate, what doesn't fucking matter. It's all the same shit. Not special because you're a specific type of species of primate. That's just evolution doing its thing, which it's doing for no reason. And even the fact of me saying it's not even a conscious, it's like an unconscious process. It just does that, whatever it does. It just does things. It's just what it happens to do. When they say survival of the fittest, no. The organisms that survive are deemed fit. It's not some march to some forward idealized organism. No, it's just stuff doing stuff. But that question is, would you opt in if you can see the duration of your life unfolding? Because I would wager to say a lot of people would say no. If you just look at it objectively, where do they get that from? Life is a gift. Half the fucking world don't have fucking water. Most organisms get eaten. Most, if not all, organisms get fucking eaten. Oh wait, all of them do. Every last one of them do. They're gonna suffer, they're gonna die. Any other little bells and whistles and ribbons you wanna put on it, that's just evolution making you think, oh man, I'm special, so you can keep furthering this shit show for some reason. Oh wait, it's no reason. And again, you know, it may sound like I'm being a negative Nancy, Debbie Downer. I'm not trying to be. That's just what it is. You know? It's like people, oh man, you know, you can do all this, insert generic cliches, platitudes, glittering generalities. As if it has any evidence to support that. Like, man, you could do this, you could do that. Like, let's weigh out the pros and the cons. The cost-benefit analysis, the risk-reward ratio. Let's weigh that out. Like, perpetuate existence, suffering, putting effort for what? To be a drone to capitalism? Like what I'm saying, like, it's not about an individual's, I'm not talking about just from a specific myopic, you know, individual's view, like, oh, that guy's poor, you know, so maybe his life is not as good as the next. I'm talking about every single conscious or unconscious being. But right now I'm gonna talk about specifically humans, right? Because, you know, ooh, we think we're better than everything else, whatever. So, like, you're gonna maintain, perpetuate, suffer through existence that you never asked for, and you're gonna, you know, socially engineer other people to do that, whether or not they want to. At best to be a consumer, to buy and sell goods, like that's the end all be all. You know, physically damage your body, sell your time, sell your effort, your allegiance to get pieces of paper to buy consumer goods. That's you know, I know that's the thing that everybody says, like, oh man, you want to get rich, be a big shot, and buy a big truck and a big house, a big boat. I guess, like, I don't know, like, I guess some people like those sorts of things, but that's not for everyone. You know, it's kind of like that story, that saying, that example. It's kind of like that folklore of the man and his boat, and a fisherman in a a canoe or, old rowboat in the dirty lagoon. The fisherman in his little canoe in the dirty lake, right? And a guy comes up to him and says, "Hey man, why are you, standing here fishing? You're here fishing in this old rusty boat. Why don't you go be a fisherman on that tugboat? Go work offshore so you can get you some money." He's like, "Why would I do that? I'm already on the boat." It's like, "So you can work on that tugboat on that offshore and be a fisherman, and then once you get enough money, you can get on a yacht and you can fish on that yacht." Like, why the hell would I do all that extra work to end up doing the same shit that I'm doing now? That's what everyone's doing. It's an exercise in futility. Like it's the same shit. So I say it's all coke and hookers. It's all the fishermen in the boat. Don't matter if humans, they want to make it seem like it's, "Oh, I'm better than you. I'm better than him because I, some arbitrary reason. That guy, he got crack in a fall out of crack whore. I got cocaine and hookers. I got prostitutes and high-end escorts and pure cocaine." Doesn't matter. It's all the same shit. Literally doesn't matter. It's like the fisherman in the boat. You're already doing the thing that you're aiming to do. I just don't see the point. That's basically what I'm saying. It's all the same shit. I'm saying best case scenario. You become a millionaire. Hell, you become a billionaire. Doesn't matter. You're doing the same shit. You're just burning time until you die. I'm not trying to, again, I'm not attempting to be pessimistic. I'm not attempting to do that, even though whether or not it may sound like that. Just saying, that, basically simply describing the futility that one may see in all of this. The sheer futility. It's like, you hear these people say these generic cliches like, just start a business, bro. Yeah, bruh. Just insert whatever, bruh. What the fuck are you talking about? Just become a millionaire, bruh. Like just work hard. They talk about work hard, motivation. As if those things have no genetic basis. As if your proclivity to work hard, be motivated, isn't wholly genetically determined. It's fucking toxic positivity, You're gaslighting people into thinking that life is inherently good, that it has inherent value, that it should be, that you should strive to uphold it. Like this notion that every man is created equal, every human has inherent value. You don't believe that yourself. Like let's take my opinion out of this. I'm saying what society's actions show us. The de facto doesn't have to be written down in a rule book officially, whatever that means, to be considered true. You know? Like people, they this vague notion, every man is created equal, every person has inherent value. Like, what? So, 5'6", balding, obese, mentally disabled person, 6'10", athletic specimen, professional athlete. One gets paid millions of dollars to play a children's game. The other one is smoking dope on the side of the street. You tell me which one society deems to have more value. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to actually repeat that. I'm going to repeat that for clarity. 5'6", bald, obese, mentally disabled person, 6'10", athletic specimen, professional athlete. One gets paid millions of dollars to play a children's game. The other one is smoking dope on the side of the road. You tell me which one society deems to have more value. I rest my fucking case. I can pull millions of other examples, but I don't even need to. That in and of itself, that one instance, that one example is enough to make you think, that notion, maybe that notion isn't just inherently true. Maybe whoever made that shit up was just lying. We're just trying to, gaslight, me into believing something that's not true. Maybe so. The thing is, the difference between those two is genetics. It's not, okay, look, maybe the guy did work harder, but again, that's genetically determined. His genetic transcription is such that it allows the guy to have the mentality to want to work harder, the physicality to sustain that hard work. The other guy simply doesn't have that genetically. There's nothing you can do to help that guy. That guy's existentially fucked. It's just genetics. Again, I gotta preface this. Individual opinions aside, like I'm not inserting, oh man, I feel something specifically happened to me personally in my, life, so I'm bitter for some, specific little reason, and if you kind of make it a little better, then I would feel better and I wouldn't. No, it's not what this is. I'm trying to lay the facts out, construct a cogent argument, and let you decide, what do I think about this? No, you notice that it's always like, okay, say a professional basketball player. It's a coincidence. Sure, is it you think it's a coincidence that the average height in the NBA is 6'7"? 6'7". You know how many people, the percentage of the population that is remotely within 6 inches of that. The standard deviation of height that is, I can't even, I don't even want to specifically get into just express how statistically set in stone this shit is. How many, How many stupid mathematicians have you met? Whether or not you or heard of. You know, you don't have to physically meet them, just heard of. You know, a stupid astrophysics. Just flat out stupid. You know how many, a weak power lifter. You know, like it's an oxymoron. But the reason why is because genetic determinism. That's why. The genetically superior, as deemed by society, they go do genetically superior shit. The rest of them, you just go do some drone work, Do drone work or starve to death. Ain't because of the fucker worked harder. So they say these rich billionaires, he worked harder than you. He worked really. You can't work 150 billion times harder than somebody. I don't. How do you quantify that? Worked harder. You always work. The guy worked 150 billion times harder than a fucking coal miner. He worked 150 billion times harder than a fucking oil rigger. Have you seen a fucking oil rigger? A fucking coal miner? Have you seen what the fuck they do? Being away from your family for in a meter, hundreds of meters down, deep into the fucking Earth's fucking core. The fucking Earth's core. What do you do? What are you talking about? You work harder than somebody. What are you talking about? The guy, you became the president, he worked hard. What? This guy's on a fucking talk show with Jimmy McFuckhead. The Tonight Show with Jimmy McFuckhead. Who's running the country? What the fuck? What are they talking about? The guy worked harder. He's running the country. The guy, this man runs the country. What are you talking about? This guy. How the fuck? The guy's on every talk show on TV. But he's running the country. Somehow this guy's found a way to defy the laws of physics. Okay. The guy smoking dope on a podcast works more than the coal miner, the guy that's hanging by a rope hundreds, thousands of meters into the Earth's crust to mine coal for some guy to make him rich. That guy works harder than that guy. Okay. Damn. Maybe I gotta take this shit back to the whiteboard, man. Back to the fucking drawing. I gotta, rearrange my equation. Maybe I forgot to carry the 1. Oopsie. I mean, how can people believe this bullshit? That the world's richest man, the limiting factor between 99% of the population and him, the distinguishing factor is that he simply worked harder than everyone else. At that exponential differential, over, hundreds of billions of dollars net worth. But he worked harder than you and 99% of the human population that has ever existed. But it just so happens that his father owned an emerald mine and was a psychopathic serial killer worth billions. That's just a coincidence that his father just happen to be in the 0.0000427% of the world's population. And his son also happened to be in the 0.0000427% of the population. That's just coincidence. A coinky dink. I mean, when you break things down like this, there's gonna be, a percentage of the people that's gonna be like, oh, they're gonna try to straw man the argument, straw man my argument of, oh, this guy's just fucking commie, hate capitalism. You just mad cause you ain't rich, you ain't got the work ethic, you ain't got their money. Cause no, it's the, spare the straw mans. Let's just look at the argument. Don't try to straw man, my postulations, my hypothesis that maybe, just maybe, the limiting factor between 99.9999 repeated bar on top nines percent of the human population that has ever existed, and literal handful of guys worth hundreds of billions, that the difference between them is just not some vague notion of hard work, whatever the fuck that means. Just maybe, a snowball's chance in hell, maybe. A Hail Mary. I don't know fuck. I don't know shit, man. Let's give another example. Basketball. Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq. Regarded as one of the greatest centers of all time, right? But people notoriously say that, Shaq was an underachiever. He didn't work hard enough. He didn't work hard. Well, let's just assume that claim is true, right? A guy that didn't work hard, that didn't meet his full potential, got 4 NBA championships and was regarded as one of the best centers of all time. But he didn't work hard. You're telling me the guy didn't work hard. Him rolling out of bed, 7'2", barefoot, 350 pounds, him not trying his hardest, was able to obtain 4 world championships and be one of the 10 greatest basketball players that has ever existed. So if you contrast that with the billions of people that bust their asses, work their hardest, sacrificed, and they didn't make their high school team. Guys didn't make their high school team. You're talking about the end-all be-all is some vague notion of hard work. But on the other hand, you're telling me you're worshiping people and giving them praise, and you're also admitting that they didn't work hard but still obtained success. They still reached success despite not working hard or not working nearly as hard as everyone else. So which one is it? Which one is it? Is it hard work or genetic determinism? You take 7'2", barefoot, 350 pounds, freak of nature. You take that away. Does the guy still have the same accomplishments? I'm asking you. I'm not putting my personal opinion into this. I'm simply parlaying the evidence so that you can make your own decision, so you can come to your own conclusion. Which one is it? Generic, vague notion of hard work or genetic determinism or some other thing that I don't know. So I'm all ears. I'm open to new information. It's not dogma. I'll change my opinion with new information. Basically, TLDR, the summary of all of this is, just pick a father that owned an emerald mine with child slaves and who's a psychopathic serial killer, and then he'll give you billions and you'll be labeled a success and a hard worker.